So let's just jump into the first set. There was most nights this probably would have been the best set of the night. Even if they had just played this set with an okay set to follow, it still would have been a pretty solid show. Started open with a Water in the Sky, maybe the one most forgettable moment of the show. I had totally forgotten that that's what they opened with. In my mind, they opened with Light Up or Leave Me Alone, which if you're going to re-listen, you could just start right there. And it was not just busted out and played while it was busted out and played. It was given the jam treatment and also a sign a lot of what was to come. The jamming, I don't want to say it was low energy, but it wasn't high energy. It was almost like everything was just kind of set around a 6.5 or a 7. Very good, though. It's not like trying to put a negative spin on it anyway. Like, think like the Got a Jibboo jam or the Reba jam. Like, I wouldn't really describe that necessarily as like high energy, but still awesome. And that's where the Light Up or Leave Me Alone was. Similar to like Got a Jibboo jam, but just maybe a little more electric, but not quite a 10. Certainly not an 11. And then it suddenly just drops into Suzy, and pretty much everything was great. I mean, just from beginning to end, there were a few skippable songs. Way on down the road, we get to When the Circus Comes to Town. Corinna, for one, a song that I didn't really used to dig. I guess this just comes with age. There are certain songs that maybe I didn't dig as I was first discovering the band. Corinna being one that I have completely turned around on and actually like the song now. Then we get a Limb by Limb. Our second taste early on here, this was not the song taste, we're going to get a taste later. This was our taste of just this type of jamming, like not quite mellow, but then not really explosive either, just somewhere right in that Phish groove, and this was a lot of Phish and Trey, really. Mostly toward the end of the jam, really, and then we get some of the Trey announces what's going to be the plans for the following night. The place goes absolutely crazy. That's when he brings out the Seminole chief. Was it Chief Jim Billie? I believe was his name, Chief Jim Billie. I looked it up. I already forget. I did not write it down here. They played a couple of songs, traditional reservation songs, Indian songs. I don't know, Seminole songs. Not sure exactly what they were. Che Hun to Me. Chehun Tumo, perhaps was one of them, and then obviously Big Alligator. And really, they weren't horrible songs, you would expect, like, oh no, what's this nonsense interrupting our show? No disrespect. I mean, we were on their land. And not that I was there. You were on their land. All right, so after, he comes in, he says some words, thanks everybody. He seemed like a pretty good dude. Although a couple of years later, he was removed from his position due to accusations. Turns out the accusations weren't even true. He got his job back a few years later. False accusations trying to take our man down. Probably after the Phish concert, he made some enemies. All right, he got his finger bitten off by an alligator. All right, enough by him. So then we get a little boost in the Possum. Maybe it was his talk about the land that we were on, talking about mountain lions and gators, and they were like, hey, let's drop a sick possum on them. All right, and then we got Farmhouse. Farmhouse goes into Ghost. Ghost was just a complete burner. Like summer of '98 Ghost. It was pretty much that. And then we got a cool Yamar. I'm assuming it was still daylight when we got this Yamar. Bit of a party foul if it was not, but I'm thinking it was. And then they ended that first set with Character Zero, another burner. It didn't reach the levels of the Ghost did, but it certainly does its Character Zero thing. So, should we move on to set 2 now? Gosh, look at all these people in the Meyer parking lot. Probably buying Phish. There is a sale this time of year. Nice day. So then they come out in set 2. They open with Wilson. It rocked. It jammed. The crowd chant was incredible. I know we've had the Wilson chant with some big crowds, but this, I don't know if this was the largest, but certainly one of the loudest and most, it sounded great too. They kind of nailed it. Congratulations to the crowd. I would also give the crowd a pat on the back a little later in the set when, like our low point was Meat. Like that's a pretty good sign when Meat is your low point to calm things down a moment. And the crowd did. They appropriately quieted down, took a break for the song. There was a curtain right after the Wilson. No width, but a nice curtain. A tweezer and a taste that followed. The tweezer was, again, more like the just kind of wash, rinse, repeat, like I said with the Light Up or Leave Me Alone. Very good. Didn't ever get to like a 10. Just kind of stayed in that smooth Phish groove range, but was excellent. Followed by a taste that had, was a little more energetic. Trey just kind of slaying it on that one, similar to the Limb by Limb. Pretty excellent when you get both of those in one show as well. And then the Wolfman's brother, maybe the low point was the Ring and the Wolfman's brother. You know, taking a look at Trey, there's some shoddy video of this. There's video, but you know, it's criminal that there's no soundboard official release. I don't know if that's their retirement plan or what the deal is. Someday we're certainly going to get the officially released Big Cypress box set, though, right? Right? Something wrong with the recordings? What's going on? How have we not got that yet? All right, so where were we? We were post Wolfman's brother into just a Great Hairy Hood. The way the jamming was going on the night, this just sort of, I don't want to say mellow, just great. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Just the style of jamming that they were throwing down on this night. Hairy Hood was going to fit perfectly. Not a big fan of glow sticks or glow stick wars, but if there was ever going to be one, this was the one. And then, so that could have ended the show right there. It would have been a good show. Would have been a memorable show. They got one set to go, and I'm going to tell you, there was no reason for them to go this hard. They decided, you know what? The world might be ending tomorrow. We're going hard. No, we're not ready. We're not ready. Don't start on me now. I'm not ready. Trying to prepare what I'm going to say about the Moma dance. It was in the 2-hole set 3. That's all I'm going to say. And then we're going to talk about Antelope. You know what's so impressive about these guys? Here I am, just trying to recap this show into set 3, and I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit, and they did not. They just kicked it into full gear. It opened with Chalk Dust and Moma Dance. Moma Dance and its familiar 2-spot in a set, although this was not the opening set, our third and final set, and again, like I've said many times, both very great. Obviously, Chalk Dust, a little more electric than Moma Dance. Moma Dance, the way the jamming was going on the night, you know, with Gotta Jibboo, Hood. Did I overlook? I overlooked Gotta Jibboo right after the Wolfman's brother. That was also a 5-star. I didn't even mention that in set 2. I got so carried away with the Hood, and then, okay, Good Times, Bad Times. That was also overlooked. And then, but let's just get to the Run Like an Antelope, because this might have been one of the highlights of the show. This is what I'm talking about, when, like, they didn't have to go this hard. And the Antelope, like, how's it going to be smooth? But then early on, like, Trey's playing this, is playing. It's like, oh, this sounds nice. It's one of them things where it's like, is this Trey playing something on the fly, or is he, like, teasing a song that I vaguely recognize? I don't think it was. And then they went from like that nice Phish smoothness to let's just step on the floor. And then as when they hit the drop in the song, they kind of played around a little bit there. It was okay. You know, they were maybe trying to lean towards something experimental and spacey, like one of the few times of the night that they really just let loose. Everything was extremely good, but it never really got too far out there. There was a moment there in Antelope where they teased it, and then we just get into Sloth when the circus comes to town. Certainly, there's not going to be any more highlights. Oh, well, you got a Mike's Groove with Mike's Hydrogen Weekapaug. Like I always say, like that's the classic one. That's the good one. But then stuff a simple in there, and it probably gets even better. Not to mention that the Mike's probably topped the Light Up or Leave Me Alone, which was one of the highlights, the Hood, the Tweezer, and I think Mike's probably surpassed all of them. Again, Mike's is one of them songs. It's kind of hard to be kind of mellow and low energy in Mike's. It is crunchy and hard. And then you're going to save the smoothness for Simple and I Am Hydrogen. Ending the set with Weekapaug Groove. I don't know if people were still able to dance this deep into the show, but how can you not to Weekapaug Groove? And then we're still not done. Probably my favorite encore combo that they could drop. Only done it a few times. Boogie on Tweezer Reprise. I've said a lot of things on video that I regret. But one time I said I would never, ever walk out on a Boogie on Tweezer Reprise encore. And I mean that. They've never tested me. Never been there when they done it, but, well, John, boom, I hope you made it. This was a long one. How did they do it? And then the following night, they played like 73 more hours or whatever. All right, guys, boom, we are out of here. Thank you for the request. I'm about to go deep into March Madness, so I don't know if you'll be seeing any Phish recaps over the next week or few days. Certainly not the next few days. Thursday through Sunday, it is on like Donkey Kong. Boom, we're out of here. Or Tron, whichever you prefer. Whatever you say in your city. We say Donkey Kong here. Others say Tron.